ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن خير الحديث كتاب الله وخير الحديث حديث محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار ثم أما بعد. Today's topic is something which is simple, which is something we could appreciate, which is something we like to attribute to ourselves. So this topic, it is of great importance. So pay close attention, because this is from the basic beliefs that a Muslim should have. This topic is concerning Iman. And we say Iman, it means belief. Or as we say, faith. So again, this topic is of great importance to the believers, because the believers are those who have belief. They have faith. They have Iman, as opposed to the disbelievers and the hypocrites. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that Iman has 60 odd branches or 70 odd branches. The uppermost of all these is the testification to La ilaha illallah. Nothing is worthy of worship in truth except Allah. And the least of them is removing something harmful, some harmful object from the pathway, from the roadway. And he sallallahu alaihi wasallam also mentioned that shyness is a branch of Iman. And this hadith is found in Bukhari and Muslim. So here it is deducted, and from the belief of the Muslim, the belief of the Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, the belief of the Salaf, the belief that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Sahaba, the belief of those who traverse upon the way of the Salaf, it mentions that belief, it is concerning belief in the heart. It is also concerning belief of the speech of the tongue. And it is also concerning belief in the action of the limbs. For he mentioned the highest is the statement, La ilaha illallah. The lowest branch is to remove something harmful from the pathway. And he also mentioned, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that shyness is a branch of Iman. So here he mentioned concerning speech, he mentioned concerning action, and he also mentioned concerning the affairs of the heart. You have those who claim Allah knows my heart. So I don't wear a hijab, but Allah knows my heart. I am a Muslim. I don't come Juma. I don't pray, but Allah knows my heart. This goes against the basic belief of a Muslim. The common belief is that belief is in the heart. Yes, it is also speech on the tongue, and it is also concerning actions of the limbs, because what is in the heart, as the two khutbahs mention, what is in the heart reflects on the limbs. So those who claim that belief is only in the heart, they are going against the basic principles, the basic foundations, the basic belief that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Sahaba had. Understand this affair and understand it well. Belief, faith, Iman is concerning the heart, speech of the tongue, and actions of the limbs. Those who claim that Iman is only in the heart, they are upon a path other than the path of the Sahaba. Also, it is not just to put forth deeds and make it seem as if you have belief. Your actions should be in accordance with your heart. Because if you put forth righteous actions, you come Juma, you come out for the 5 times Salah, you come to the masjid, you're giving charity, you're feeding people, you're removing something harmful from the pathway, but Islam is not in your heart. Iman is not in your heart. Then you are from amongst the hypocrites. Because the hypocrites, they used to perform good deeds in front of the believers while hiding that disbelief in their heart. So understand this affair well. Claiming that you have belief in your heart and it does not show in your actions, this is not from the Sunnah. Also putting forth righteous actions, but you do not have belief in your heart, again, this goes against the Sunnah. This is the way of the hypocrites. So again, from Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah is that Iman is belief in the heart, speech of the tongue, and action of the limbs. Furthermore, Iman, belief, this faith that we claim, it increases with the obedience to Allah, and it decreases with the disobedience to Allah. Allah mentioned in the Quran, those, meaning the believers, those unto whom the people, the hypocrites said, verily, the people, the pagans, they have gathered against you a great army. Therefore fear them. So the hypocrites came to the Sahaba and mentioned to them that the pagans, they have gathered a mighty army against you, so you should fear them. And then Allah mentions, but it only increased them in faith. And they said, Allah is sufficient for us, and He is the best disposer of our affairs. So here Allah mentions that it increased them in faith. Their belief, their Iman, the fear of Allah, it increased them in faith. And they did not have fear for the hypocrites or the disbelievers, those who were coming with them with their mighty army. Allah also mentioned the believers are only those who, when Allah is mentioned, feel a fear in their hearts. They feel a fear in their hearts. And when His verses, when the Quran, when the evidence is recited unto them, it increases their faith, and they put their trust in their Lord. So here and many other places, Allah mention that the faith increases. The believers, they have a fear for Allah. They have a belief in Allah. They have a reliance in Allah. And they increase in faith. So here again, from the basic belief of a Muslim is that belief, this faith, this Iman, it increases with the obedience to Allah, and it decreases with the disobedience to Allah. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu, lahul mulku wa lahul hamd, wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. Bismillah walhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala thumma amma ba'd. The Salaf mentioned, one of the Salaf mentioned that there is no benefit in speech except with good actions. And there is no benefit in speech and good actions except with correct intentions. And there is no benefit in speech and good actions and correct intentions except that it must be upon the Sunnah. But here they had the belief, the Salaf, they had the belief that speech, good actions, and the heart must coincide with each other. Again, the basic belief is that from belief, Iman, it is belief in the heart, speech on the tongue, and actions of the limbs. It increases with the obedience to Allah, and it decreases with the disobedience to Allah. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that whoever sees an evil should stop it with his hand. Whoever sees an evil should change it with his hand. And if he is unable to do that, then he should speak out against it. If he is unable to change it with his hand, then he should change it with his tongue. And if he is unable to do that, then he should change it with his heart. And after that, there is no more faith. So here, he sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned concerning the evil. And here also should be noted that preventing an evil takes precedence over enacting a good. When it comes between choosing between preventing an evil and doing a good, preventing the evil takes precedence over doing the good. But they mentioned if you see an evil, change it with your hand. If you are unable to change it with your hand, and here we should also take note that sometimes you may want to go and put your hand in something. As some people, you find nowadays everybody giving themselves authority. Instead of they go to those who have authority, everybody now want to take things into their own hands and give themselves authority. Understand this and understand this well. Sometimes a brother and a sister, a husband and wife might have a matter, and it may call for intervention. You find some people, they want to put their hand, they want to put their mouth in affairs that does not concern them. They have authorities to deal with that. You have the imam at the masjid. You have certain brothers in charge of certain things. But no, men want to bypass all that and go and do their own thing and cause mischief and cause more evil. Understand this and understand it well. When you are going to change an evil, you don't create more evil. You're changing the evil to good. You want to stop the evil, not make more evil. So whoever sees an evil and he is able to change it with his hand, he should do so. But if he is unable, then he should change it with his tongue, meaning speak out against it. Aki, you shouldn't do this. Sister, you shouldn't do that. That is wrong. This is the correct way. If we are unable to change it with our hands and our speech, then change it with your heart. What does it mean now? Cut out your chest, take out your heart, buff up your heart, send it, pump it up, and change it. It means hate it in your heart. The belief in the heart. Change it with your heart, meaning at least you hate it. And after that, anything less than that, meaning that if you are unable to change it with your hand, you are unable to do good. You are unable to speak good. You are unable to hate what Allah hates. Love what Allah loves. Besides that, there is no Iman. So here again is evidence that Iman, belief, is in the heart, the speech, and the actions. It increases with the obedience to Allah, and it decreases with the disobedience to Allah. To such an extent that a person will be upon righteousness, increasing in Iman. Increasing, performing the Salah. The 5 times Salah, this is how you start. With that which is compulsory. You don't start by praying the tahajjud. La. Allah loves that you accomplish the obligatory deeds and then you move on to the Sunnah. So a person increases in obedience by performing that which he has to do. We have to pray 5 times a day as a Muslim. This is Islam. When the angel Jibril alayhi salam asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what is Islam? He mentioned firstly the testification of faith. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. This is the foundation and also the main pillar. And then he mentioned concerning as-salah, fasting the month of Ramadan, giving charity, hajj, paying the zakat. This is what makes you a Muslim. This is what increases you in belief. By performing what you have to do as a Muslim. We have to come for the Jummah. When we miss the Jummah, what goes on? We collect sin. If you don't have a proper excuse. And saying, well, I don't watch for men, and I want to bounce up this one. Foolishness we talking. We Muslim. Can't come Jummah because we afraid somebody take our life. This is how many stop. I don't want to come Jummah because you know how it is. So men afraid to die going towards righteousness. Don't want to go out and work because it ain't safe. Don't want to die doing the right thing. But men rather stay on the block and do the wrong thing. Stay away from Jummah, smoke, drink alcohol, gamble, all kind of wrong. The police can reach up on you. Enemies can reach up on you. So we rather die doing the wrong thing. This is the Iman that we have as Muslims. That we don't want to die heading towards the right thing. And then men like to say, me afraid to dead. You're only fooling yourself. Me afraid to dead. So our Iman increases when we do the right thing. We perform the 5 times Salah. We fast the entire month of Ramadan, not some days, well, only fasting 2 weeks. Or you only fast 3 days and then for the rest of the month you ain't fasting. La. You have to make the effort to fast the entire month. There are things we have to do as a Muslim, and it increases you in belief. And the opposite side of that, when you engage in sin, and it was mentioned last week, when you engage in sin upon sin after sin, Allah will put a black spot on your heart. And when you create another sin, the black spots eventually take over the heart. And as the Salaf mentioned, you commit a sin and he stretch out his hand and he close a finger with that sin, and another sin, until the fist is closed tight. And Allah puts a seal over the heart. Understand that. When you increase in sin, when you increase in evil, it affects the heart. Be mindful to such an extent whereby men engage in sin upon sin after sin, that the Iman in the heart is dead. The Iman in the speech is dead. The Iman in the actions come dead. And some people, the Iman in the heart comes dead, but when they see the Muslims, they want to act like a Muslim. They ain't praying, they ain't coming out for the Jummah, but when they see the Muslim, it's Aki. Salam alaikum. In practicing Islam, the Islam not in the heart, then grounded, but then now you want to seem like a Muslim. When you engage in sin upon sin, Allah will cover the heart to the extent that the Iman in the heart is dead, to the extent that you don't want to pray. That's why we have a lot of Muslims not praying. May Allah rectify our affairs, and may Allah make us those who strive to rectify ourselves and also strive to rectify the community. May Allah grant us true Iman in our hearts, in our speech, in our actions. May Allah make us true believers and not just those who put forth good so the people could see and we have something different in our hearts. May Allah rectify our affairs and not just make us those who say, Allah know my heart, only God could judge me, and your actions is contrary to that of a Muslim. May Allah make us true believers. Ameen. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.